website was such a big part of this class, we felt that it would be cool to cover all the presentation points within our website. So this is our homepage, obviously. Down here we're going to have our test blogs, or not our test blog, our blog posts come up. We also have a search, sorry about the picture. This is our social media. This is just the last tweet we tweeted on our live Twitter feed. So starting at the top, click here to start your adventure, and that's what we're going to do.
So next we're going to come to Welcome to the Parks. We have a little video here for them to watch to see get excited about their trip. And then as you scroll down at the bottom, you can see their ideal trip of what they told us. They have 5 people going, 3 princesses. They're all middle or younger. Sorry. They do have a lot of Disney experience. The parents have been there a lot when they were younger and just the past few years. Some of the things they'll need is a stroller. They wanted frequent stops. They did want to stay on a property value resort, so that way they didn't have to spend as much money. The kids are really into meeting characters, and they really wanted to do Frozen, as that's their favorite. As you can see, they give us some of their favorite rides, and then some of their don'ts. They are going to do a quick service meal plan, and they are there for 7 days total, which is a lot longer than they there for.
We're going to just go through the parks, and then we're going to come back to our budget and about our team. So, starting off with Animal Kingdom, this is their itinerary. They're going to start off with Festival of the Lion King, and then, so our first Fast Pass is the Kilimanjaro Safari. Our next Fast Pass is Expedition Everest, and I believe which is, okay, yeah, and then our goals are down here, so, okay, and then our dining plan goal is the restaurant of sorts. And then our experience goal is Rivers of the Light, because they really wanted to do that and they hadn't done it.
Okay, so the next park we're going to look at is Epcot. Please go to the top. Great. So this is just an added feature. So our family also told us that they were willing to spend a little bit of money on some special packages. So we decided to take them to the Princess Storybook Dining. And that's something that we're kind of offering them. So Epcot will open earlier that morning, and that's what we'll have their breakfast reservation there. And then once they're done at breakfast, then they can go wait outside the park with everyone else, and then they'll be able to have access to the full park. And that's why we did the Seas with Nemo and Friends as our first Fast Pass, because that's closest to the front of the park. And then keep scrolling. Yep. And then our second Fast Pass goal is obviously Frozen Ever After. All the princesses are very excited about seeing that. And then our client family dad, he said that he really wanted to get some German food, so we're going to take him to Summerfest and make sure that he gets that as part of their quick service meal plan. And then they'll attend Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, which they already told us is one of their favorite things, one of their favorite shows. And they also have a special spot picked out for us to stand for them. So we'll stand where they preferred for us to stand. And that's what they'll do at Epcot.
So next up is Hollywood Studios. Just some of the things that are our goals are 2 Fast Passes, which are Star Tours and Toy Story Mania. Mama Melrose's is a place that they wanted to visit, so we're also going to do that. And then because of that, they get tickets to go see Fantasmic, so that's going to be our experience goal for the day.
And then our last park is Magic Kingdom, and our itinerary is really packed for this one especially, but that's because they're going to be there for 7 days and we're only going to be there for 4. So we just made it as if they were going for 4, but we know that each of the itineraries will take them longer than a day, but wherever they get on the itinerary, they'll just stop and continue the next day because we have them going around the park like in an order. So they'll just get so far and then the next day have to go back. You can just scroll to the bottom, but our goals for this park is be our guest restaurant. They're going to use their quick service meal there. And get to eat in Belle's Castle. And then our 2 Fast Passes were Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Space Mountain. We picked those because those lines are pretty long, so we wanted to cut down their wait time and allow them to do more things. And then our experience for this park was Celebrate the Magic and Wishes, the light show and the fireworks on the castle at the end. It's just the perfect end to the day at Magic Kingdom. Okay, the next thing that we have is our budget, which is definitely one of our biggest problem points. Our family gave us a budget that included everything except travel. So even though we were told we didn't have to do lodging and stuff, that's what our family asked us to do. But the cheapest price we could find for them staying at the cheapest value resort and with their ticket package, with their park hoppers, the cheapest we could find for the time they were going was $3,200, but their max budget was $3,500. So with a dining plan, that's not possible, so we planned it as if giving them everything they wanted, and then we're gonna ask them, after we go, kind of our tips of like what they can maybe cut back on. So they're either gonna have to expand their budget or cut back on some things, but this was pretty much our biggest barrier, was trying to figure out what to do with the budget. So we put them at the All-Star Sports since that's the cheapest, and then, like I said, for 7-day park hoppers and staying there, it was like $3,200. And then a quick service dining plan for the 4 of them for that whole time was close to $1,000, so they're about $800 over. And then we just broke down our budget also by the days. So for lunch and dinner at Animal Kingdom, they'll use 4 of their quick service meals, and then Epcot they'll be paying for breakfast for that storybook breakfast, and then their lunch and dinner will be the other quick service meals for that day. And then the same goes for Hollywood and Magic Kingdom. The only expenses they had was just part of their dining plan, so that's nice that they're not really spending any more money in the parks, but we'll have to see if they really want to do the dining plan, or if maybe that's a way that they can cut back is by buying their own meals and buying them cheaper, so.
And just to kind of talk about some of our potential barriers as a group, Lauren already brought up our budget, and then we're also just going to reiterate that because we've scheduled only 4 days on our itinerary, and they're planning on staying for 7, that kind of withheld us from being able to say like, okay, and we'll be at this place at 9:30, and we'll be at this place at 10:30, and like we just really didn't feel like we were able to do that. So that time constraint was kind of our biggest barrier. And then we're going to be using My Magic Plus, the typical ways with the kiosks, and we'll be setting up the magic bands, with park hopper passes, our fast passes, the photo pass that we also get access to, our hotel room, and any entrance to any of the parks.
And this is our About the Team page. We didn't introduce ourselves, but,
That's
And
us.
they-
and Trevor, Lauren, and McKinley, so there's us.